In race 7 here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, David McKay did what he had to do and cut Trevor Dion's championship points lead to just 13. Heading into the final race of the season, McKay knows that he must win this race and get help from some of his rivals. Who will emerge and win the 2022 Liqui Moly Pro Sport Bike Championship? And welcome to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park for the final race of the Liqui Moly Pro Sport Bike National Championships. There is Elliot Vieira. He's already won one national championship race this year. He'll be looking for number 2 today. As Dunlop presents the Liqui Moly Pro Sport Bike National Championships. Brought to you in part by Importation Thibault, Joe Rocket, and Pro 6 Cycle. And as the riders head out on their warm-up lap, I'll mention that I'm joined by Michael Leon once more for this broadcast. Welcome aboard, Mike.
Hi, Frank. As always, excited to be here. And here's our starting grid. We have Trevor Dion on the front row with McKay, Vieira, Simpson. Our second row is Leclerc, Rafa, and Le Villain.
Terrific qualifying effort by Matthew Simpson. But the story on this day, Michael, of course, is the points race for the national championship.
That's exactly the story. We're going to find out how the championship wraps up today. Is the last race of the season. On our third row, we have MacKay, Lada, Azevedo, and Chris Fair.
As the riders pull up to the starting line, we're going to take a moment and check in with our Dunlop pit reporter, Hannah Streak. She has more on this points race.
Thanks, guys. As we head into the last race of the season, the points battle is as tight as it's ever been. Currently, Trevor Dion leads David McKay by 13 points. I talked to Trevor before the race, and he said that he's feeling more confident about racing today than he did yesterday. He really struggled with his rear tire in race 1, but his crew feel like they've solved that gremlin, and they're ready for this race. All he has to do now is finish ahead of David McKay to clinch the championship. Back to you.
Thanks for that, Hannah. And now we look, as the riders are under starters' orders, we look to the Bickle Racing lights. The lights are all coming on. When they go off, this race will start. The lights are off. The race is underway, and they are charging down into turn number 1. It is McKay. McKay has taken the lead, and Dion runs in the second spot. Well, there's our championship chase. They're running 1-2 right now, Michael.
Great start for McKay, and for him, it's simple. He knows what he has to do. He has to win this race. There's no way around it.
Dion trying the inside as they go down through turn number 2. He's got him. Dion has moved to the point, and he has shunted McKay back in the second spot. And look at Vieira hounding them now as they go in through turn number 3. We know that as Quebec corner.
You see Vieira running a little bit his typical wide line, but somehow seems to make it work for him at every track we go to.
Looks like Leclerc, I think, is running back there in 4th spot when last seen, and Louis Rafa's up in there as well. Leclerc, yes, he is definitely in 4th spot as we pick up on Dion. Look at this shot from trackside, Mikey.
These top 5 runners right now have all won a race this year, Frank. Isn't that something?
It is truly remarkable, Michael. We will never seen a season like this before. We've never seen such close racing, both in Superbike and in this, the Liqui Moly Pro Sport Bike race. As look now, we are 3 abreast underneath the Canadian Tire Bridge, and it is Vieira now has moved up into second spot. I think he's going for first. He is. He's trying it around the outside of 8. No, not going to happen there. See if he stabbed it in on 9. Mike?
He wasn't able to make that work, but here he's going to challenge on the inside of the last corner. But again, couldn't make it work.
Man, that was inviting. That was like an empty drive-through. Oh, man, he had a tempting look at that, but obviously saving himself a bit. We're very early in this contest thus far.
Obviously, Dion is going to try to break away, and he's got a bit of tougher cards to play here because if McKay wins, Dion can finish as far back as 4th and still win the championship.
Oh, right.
So sometimes that's an even harder position to be in to decide, does he go for it? Does he, play it safe? But obviously here he's going for it, Frank.
Top 3 are starting to get a little distance here, Mike, and it looks like Leclerc is getting scrubbed off a ways, as is Simpson. Down, coming out of turn number 2 and making it up in 3 once more. we follow that pack, and everybody's staying in it, including Louis Raffa running in 6th spot on that Honda CBR 600.
Simpson with a nice pass into 4th there up on the inside of Moss's corner, and you know, we should keep our eye on him because he was a surprise winner yesterday, his first race win pro sport bike. So we'll see what he can do today.
Yeah, he surprised me yesterday, I'll be honest with you. He's been having a remarkable year, a very, very good year, but I did not see a win in him. But here comes Vieira now as he moves to the point. He has taken over from Dion, and it looks like McKay wants to join him as they come up over the under the Canadian Tire Bridge. McKay has been shunted. No, he won't let him through. Dion closes the door on him, and he keeps him back in 3rd spot.
The worst case scenario for McKay right now is for Vieira to break away, because McKay needs to win this race if he wants to win the championship.
Quite so, that's the way it stands. But remember also back at Calabogie Motorsport Park where McKay sat right where he is in 3rd spot for almost the entirety of the race, and it wasn't until the last 2 turns where he truly made his intentions known, and he snapped the win in that contest. So let's see how this plays out.
If you look at the pace of the leader, Frank, Vieira just did a 1:25.2.
Wow.
It's a little slower than yesterday's fastest laps, but we'll see.
But very close to it, man. He's gotten a little bit of a distance here too. Going to give him maybe as much as 6 to 8 bike lengths now, again through and wide again. As I've noticed that a number of times this year with that young rider on the 33 machine. He develops those wide lines going into a lot of these corners.
He does like those wide sweeping lines, and here we see Vieira's trying to break away, and that's just where he likes to be, at the front.
Well, as we watched Elliot Vieira where he likes to be, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Closed captioning for the Liqui Moly Pro Sport Bike Championship brought to you by Pro Cycle, AIM Insurance, Revs for Red, CSBK's official charity, and MotorcycleCourse.com. Welcome back as we are at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park watching Elliot Vieira lead this Liqui Moly Pro Sport Bike race up the back straightaway, the highest speed recorded on this track. Mike?
Vieira's built up quite a bit of a gap, and it's going to be very difficult for the riders behind him to use his draft. It's exactly what he wants, and it's not typical of the racing we usually see here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park.
Look at this shot. Jake Leclerc on the 811 bike, and there is McKay, the other title contender, on the number 82. And look at McKay, he's got his elbow right on the ground. You gotta love watching this kid race motorcycles.
He certainly does have that GP style where he gets the elbow down. We've talked about it a lot, Frank, up to now, and we're watching the riders come through corner 1.
Simpson just go, holy cow, he's running in 4th spot there, and something happened there, Mike. He went into a bit of a wobble and just about collided with the wall on the right side of the track.
It looked like he spun up the rear and then kind of caught control back of it, but it was headed toward the inside of the track, something that we typically don't see. Fortunately, it worked out okay, and he was able to recover, and I don't even think he lost a spot.
I think he did lose 1 spot, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Yes, he did. He lost 1 spot, but nonetheless, he kept it up. And is it perhaps he's trying too hard after that win yesterday?
I'm sure he's given it his all, Frank, and he won yesterday. He's going to be very excited to get out on track and try to repeat it. Sometimes it can lead to a little bit of frustration when you see the pack getting away. You won yesterday, and you feel a little bit of pressure to repeat it. I'm just looking at running in 7th and 8th, Massey and Levelin, my fellow Quebecers. It's kind of nice to see them still in the draft. They're still in that, at the back tail of that battle for second.
Well, you used the word pack, and there is a pack of 7 riders in pursuit of Elliot Vieira, and he's starting to get some very serious distance here. This is not entirely anticipated. Not in the least was it anticipated that someone would have a lead like this. Now, having said that, if these guys work together, and you know how this works, if they work together, they can close that distance.
Absolutely, and the worst thing for them to do would be to start battling it and taking each other's lines away and screwing up their lap times. That would play into Dion's favor, though, because he knows, I'm sure he's done the math, he knows he needs to finish 4th if McKay wins it, and it doesn't look like that's happening at the moment.
And for McKay, of course, the job is very simple. You have to win if you wish to win the championship, and then let the cards fall where they may. Let Dion finish where he may, and perhaps he'll net a national championship, but he's going to have to get out of that pack.
We're on lap 5 now, and McKay, it's very important for him to move forward and get to the front. If we get past halfway and there's a red flag and they call it, it's over for him.
Yeah, well, Jake Leclerc right in front of David McKay still, and holding him up a bit, I guess you could say, as Dion continues to hold second spot, and Leclerc having a great race here, running in third spot. Remember, he was one of the riders that scored his first win this year, and it looks like he has an intentions of a pass. Oh yeah, he's got him around the outside going into turn number 8. That was a really, really nice move.
We're looking at McKay here, thinking about a move.
There's Simpson. And Simpson on the outside. Now he's got a perfect inside line coming into 10. Yep, he made that work for him as he moves in behind McKay and shunts Dion back one more position. Now Dion is falling down the leaderboard here. So if by chance somehow McKay can pull out a win.
Yeah, these guys, they need to stop getting each other's foot tracks and work together to move forward, to use the draft as a pack to reel in Vieira.
Exactly. Yeah, on board now with Matthew Simpson on the Evans Racing Yamaha as he is right in behind Dion. Now he's going to the outside, and yeah, that's where he captures Dion and moves up one position. Nice move by Simpson, who had a very scary move on lap number 3.
Very nicely executed passes. These guys are all giving each other enough room. It's safe, and it's great racing.
And Simpson passes McKay now as he moves up one more position. We're going to take a quick break, but don't go away. We'll be right back. We are watching the final Liqui Moly Pro Sport Bike Race of 2022, and we're working lap number 6 of 12. Michael Leon, we are halfway through this contest.
We sure are, Frank. And past the halfway, if anything happens and there's a red flag, McKay has no chance. He will not win the championship. So, you know, these guys, like I was saying before, they need, in order for it to work for McKay, they need to work together, use the draft, and reel in Vieira.
Yeah, and that's not working. They're spread out all over the racetrack. Nobody is getting any soft air there as Leclerc continues to hold on to third spot, and McKay must be starting to get a little frustrated at this point in time because he knows full well that Vieira is a speck in the distance just now.
And as far as Simpson and Leclerc and Dion are concerned, they don't care. They just want podiums, right? And obviously, Dion wants to win the championship, so he can play it safe. But for the others that are mixed in this, they want to get on the podium and stand up there. Look how close they're coming, Frank. It's,
oh, man, this is terrific racing. Absolutely terrific racing now as McKay has displaced Leclerc just coming off of turn number 2. Now they're heading up into Quebec corner once more. We'll see whether Leclerc has a return favor. I don't think that's going to happen, but definitely McKay now has his sights set on Matt Simpson, who's sitting right in front of him. He's going to get a bit of a tow perhaps there now as Vieira. Look at the lead he has. Recognize that, but McKay is not giving up on this by a long shot. Simpson did get by him, but McKay will no doubt look to return this favor, and it just could happen at the end of this straightaway. Now they're lined up the way they should be, but McKay pulls out of the lineup, has a look to the inside, nothing to be had there, and they still set off in pursuit. Now they're working together.
There was almost contact between McKay and Dion exiting Moss's corner there.
McKay now getting into the draft of Simpson and getting a pull, as does Dion. And Leclerc also. Look at this, Michael. This is incredible sport bike racing. Into turn number 8 they go as Simpson very bravely right on the back wheel of Dion. I thought he was going to touch that Dunlop slick and pitch himself onto the grass.
And Dion has a lot to lose here, so good on him for you know, moving right to the front. And I'm sure if he does win the championship today, he wants to celebrate it on the podium. And these bikes are all pretty evenly matched. They're all 600cc sport bikes. They have to follow the series rules. The bikes are all checked on a dyno after to make sure that no one's cheating. And all the great passing we're seeing is truly down to the riders, you know, just making great moves on the track.
Well, it was last year that Elliot Vieira was penalized because his motorcycle made too much horsepower. That's what brought about my comment. Earlier on, we had a chance to talk to David McKay about his situation in the 2022 Liqui Moly Pro Sport Bike Championship.
The goal is just to stay consistent like we have all year. We've had a great year so far, and I think at this point it's not so much my championship to win, but Trevor's to lose. And we're going to do everything we can to put ourselves in the best position possible to win if anything goes wrong for Trevor. But the goal is to put it on the top of the box and see how the pieces fall.
On board the Fast Company Kawasaki just for a moment there now, watching the race action as we pick up on Dion running in second spot and McKay back in fourth spot, although it's getting harder to tell who is where as Leclerc back there now in fourth spot, and he was running up as high as third. Now they make their way out of turn number 8 into turn number 9, and McKay around the outside But we've got to recognize the fact that Vieira has a large lead here, Mike, and the fact is he's building on it. He's making it wider and wider and wider, and he's making David McKay's job that much harder.
Yeah, they're getting to the point where exiting a corner, the riders in second could barely see him and use him as a gauge, and they've definitely lost his draft.
The action is hot and heavy, and we want to keep on watching this race, Mike, but we got to take a break. Hang in, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park as Dunlop presents the Liqui Moly Pro Sport Bike National Championships. Brought to you in part by Importation Thibault, Joe Rocket, and Pro 6 Cycle. We're back at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. We're working lap 9 of the Liqui Moly Pro Sport Bike race. And Michael, there's almost a 3-second gap ahead for Vieira, rather. And how do you think that boils down for David McKay?
Well, we've got two and a half laps to go, and if you do the math, Vieira would have to fade by about 1.5 seconds a lap to make it possible for McKay to win. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. The best thing he can do is get into second place and just hope that Dion has a problem, because Dion would have to, if he finishes second, Dion would have to finish around 7th or 8th for McKay to still win it.
Yeah, well, Dion's had a pretty remarkable year in terms of reliability, on that LDS Kawasaki. He gets some soft air, he gets a bit of a toe, not enough, he says, I'll take some more. He looks now to the inside of Simpson, nothing to be had there as Matt silently closes the door on him, and McKay is there. I can sense the desperation, of David McKay. He looks to the inside, there's absolutely nothing there. Now he looks to the inside of corner number 10, he's got him. He has passed his protagonist and moved into 3rd spot. Is it enough?
Here we're going to see the pass. He sets him up on the exit of 9, goes a little bit wider, and picks him up on the inside of corner 10.
Nice move. Well planned.
Very clean. Left him a lot of room, and he was able to square it up and stand it up and get off the corner quick enough to not allow Dion back by on the inside or outside.
And Leclerc sitting back there, he was watching the line that McKay took, and I couldn't help but think Leclerc watched that, and he says, I think I'll try that next time around. As they work their way through Quebec corner once more, Matt Simpson running in 2nd spot now. Elliot Vieira virtually out of the picture. McKay in 3rd, Dion in 4th, or is it 5th now? Yeah, no, he's still got 4th.
And interesting enough here, Rafa's still hanging on at the end of this. I mean, if he plays his cards right with the draft, he might even be still in it for a shot on the podium.
He's doing very well indeed, is Louis Rafa. This is one of his better rides of the season on that Honda. That's another one of those motorcycles that's prepared by Fast Company, the same people that make David McKay's Kawasaki so fast. We'll see how fast that Kawasaki is now, as he's getting a bit of a toll from the Yamaha of the Evans Racing Matt Simpson, and swings over to the right, gives him the inside line going into turn number 8. I think I've seen this movie before. Now, Simpson closes the door. We'll see if McKay is able to do something now. Oh, man, look at how close they are, Michael. Good Lord.
He's going to try that same pass that he pulled on Dion last lap.
He got him.
And here we are.
Holy Lordy, if McKay had done this maybe 4 or 5 laps ago, we might have him chasing for the lead, as now he is solidly in 2nd spot, and I don't think you're going to see him give up that position. He's going to guard that with the best of his abilities, and just hope that Vieira perhaps has some problems, and hope that Dion has some problems. That's all he can do.
Now we've had Dion move into 3rd, and Dion just has to sit pretty and make sure he doesn't, throw it away. That's a difficult spot to be in sometimes. It's almost more pressure than trying to win the race. Is trying to manage all the math in your head and what happens if this happens.
Yeah,
it's definitely not easy.
And so often in this type of racing, it only takes one mistake to take a championship away. Look down at Moss's corner. That bike coming out of Moss's corner right now is Elliot Vieira, and the pack still together. The pack of 4 riders still together in chase. Now onto the back straightaway. Mike, let's go for a ride.
And the top 5 here, I just keep thinking, Frank, how we've been treated this year. All these guys have won a race. It's been such an epic season of racing in this class.
Yeah, we've never seen such action, both on the track and, of course, in the results as well, as we've mentioned a number of times. It's astounding. We've never seen it before. 5 race winners in a single year, just unheard of in CSBK racing. And I don't doubt it's probably unheard of in many forms of racing around the world. Look now as Simpson dives to the inside in corner number 10. I don't think Dion was expecting that. Simpson shunting him back one more position. I don't think Dion liked it either. He was trying to come back.
I could see the change in his body language. He got surprised a little bit. He's been obviously playing it safe, and was a little surprised to see Simpson taking a play out of the David McKay passing from the last few laps.
Yeah, McKay has been picture perfect. We're working the final lap now of this 12-lap National Championship Sport Bike race. Obviously, David McKay's chances of a championship are slim indeed, but I'm not counting any chickens, Mike. You know how things can change so rapidly and so drastically in motorcycle racing.
That's why they count the positions on the last lap at the checkered, because anything can happen up till then.
Into Moss's corner we go. Simpson following McKay. Oh, if McKay had made that move earlier. Look at now as he squirts out of Moss's corner and grabs up a little more asphalt between himself and Simpson, making himself perhaps a little safer. Whether it's going to work out any good for him at the end of this race remains to be seen. Mike?
I think he has enough of a gap to avoid getting the draft pass, but we'll see as Simpson trying around the outside.
Matt Simpson gets the toe. Around the outside he goes, and back one position goes David McKay. Look at McKay as he's looking way, way ahead.
McKay's planning that same pass that he's tried.
What a picture this is.
There we go.
The final corner now. McKay to the inside of Simpson. Oh man, I think there was contact there. We saw. Oh, how close was that?
That's a photo finish, Frank. I wonder who. I don't even know who finished second.
Holy lordy, we're going to have to find out very shortly. We know who won the race. We could see. Yeah, there is Elliot Vieira. He was punching a hole in the air when he came across that finish line, and now delighted. It's not his victory lap, it's the last lap round. He'll get the checkered flag for a ride as well. Look at this, Mike.
How close is that, Frank? McKay comes out in second by 6/1000ths of a second.
Holy lordy.
And what that means is that Trevor Dion is the new sport bike champion in Canada.
That's salted. Trevor Dion on the LDS Kawasaki has gained his first national championship, certainly in the Liqui Moly Pro Sport Bike class, and we expect to hear a lot more of him in the future.
And here are our finishers from today. Elliot Vieira wins, David McKay second, Matthew Simpson in third, Trevor Dion fourth, and also winning the championship, Leclerc, Rafa, and McKay rounding out 5, 6, and 7.
Now here's Hannah with our new champion.
All right, folks, I'm here with Liqui Moly Pro Sport Bike champion, Trevor Dion. Trevor, congratulations. How does it feel?
Thanks, Anna. It's a dream come true. I'm speechless. I'm out of words. I just can't believe how the race ended up happening. It was way better than yesterday. We did the tire change, and that's all we needed to do. And I knew where the points were sitting, so once Elliot got by me, I knew Elliot was going to have some pace. So I held up the pack behind, and I let Elliot check out because I knew for David to win, he needed to win. So I let Elliot check out, and I was able to stick with the guys in the race, so it was awesome.
For sure, you won by 8 points, and you are the first rookie winner for the Pro Sport Bike Championship ever. Congratulations.
Thanks, Hannah.
A rookie winner at 20 years of age, man, he's got a great future ahead of him. I can't wait to watch.
Let's check out the championship standings. And the winner is Trevor Dion, David McKay in second, Elliot Vieira third, Matthew Simpson in fourth, Jake Leclerc and Louis Rafa in fifth and sixth.
There's Trevor Dion and Mike Grass, his good buddy who was injured here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park last year and has been working with the Dion crew all year long. Very emotional podium for Trevor Dion. And there is the #1 plate, and the Liqui Moly trophy gets passed to Trevor Dion. And that wraps it up for 2022. Thank you so much for watching.